Vancouver is consistently ranked as one of the world's most beautiful cities, surrounded by mountains, ocean, and vibrant cultural diversity. Yet for many Millennials and Gen Z residents, the city's breathtaking scenery comes with a difficult reality: affordability and livability challenges. Between 2025 and 2026, Vancouver faces a critical question. How can the city remain livable for younger generations who want to work, build community, and establish their futures there? The most pressing challenge is housing affordability. Vancouver has long been one of the most expensive housing markets in North America. As of 2025, average rent for a one-bedroom apartment downtown ranges between approximately $2,600 and $3,000 per month, placing significant financial pressure on young renters. The problem is so severe that 84% of non-homeowners in Metro Vancouver believe they will never be able to afford a home in the region. Social media discussions on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram frequently highlight this reality through viral posts showing Vancouver apartment tours that emphasize small spaces and high prices. These posts often blend humor and frustration, reflecting a generation that simultaneously loves the city yet struggles to remain in it. Addressing housing affordability requires both policy innovation and community adaptation. Vancouver City Council has already taken steps toward increasing housing supply, including approving measures intended to facilitate the construction of more than 20,000 additional homes. Expanding rental housing, cooperative housing, and multi-unit developments in traditionally single-family neighborhoods could help stabilize costs. Alternative ownership models, such as co-ownership housing arrangements, are also gaining popularity among young residents as a way to share costs in an otherwise unattainable market. These emerging models demonstrate how Millennials and Gen Z are creatively adapting to economic realities. Cost of living extends far beyond housing. Metro Vancouver households spend substantial portions of their income on housing and transportation combined, averaging around $41,000 annually. For younger residents who often work entry-level jobs or freelance positions, such expenses can quickly become overwhelming. In fact, the regional living wage needed to maintain a basic standard of living is significantly higher than the provincial minimum wage, highlighting the gap between earnings and real expenses. As a result, more young adults are delaying independence. Some data indicates an increasing number of people aged 25 to 34 still live with their parents due to rising costs. Improving transit and urban planning could help relieve some of this financial pressure. Research from Metro Vancouver shows that households living closer to SkyTrain stations generally experience lower combined housing and transportation costs, partly because they can rely less on expensive car ownership. Expanding transit-oriented development, building housing near rapid transit, can therefore make living in the city more affordable. Millennials and Gen Z residents are also more likely to embrace cycling infrastructure, public transit, and walkable neighborhoods, aligning urban planning with environmental sustainability. Environmental resilience is another critical factor shaping Vancouver's livability. Younger generations are particularly concerned about climate change, especially as wildfires, extreme heat, and flooding events have become more common in British Columbia. Vancouver has historically pursued urban sustainability strategies such as eco-density, which promote compact development, reduced car dependency, and greener infrastructure. Expanding green building policies, protecting urban forests, and investing in climate-resilient infrastructure will be essential for maintaining the city's environmental quality in the decades ahead. Beyond economics and infrastructure, social and cultural vitality also determine whether a city remains livable. Millennials and Gen Z value vibrant communities, creative spaces, and inclusive social environments. Vancouver's multicultural population and thriving arts scene already contribute to this identity, but rising costs have forced many artists and small venues out of the city. Supporting affordable studio spaces, independent music venues, and public cultural events could help preserve Vancouver's creative energy. Social media trends often highlight these cultural spaces, street markets, food festivals, and local art collectives as defining features of Vancouver's youthful culture. Ultimately, the future livability of Vancouver will depend on balancing growth with accessibility. The city continues to attract newcomers. In fact, adults aged 25 to 39 have been among the fastest growing demographic groups in the region in recent years. This demographic growth reflects Vancouver's global appeal, but it also intensifies pressure on housing, transportation, and public services. Vancouver's challenge in 2025-2026 is therefore not just economic, it is generational. Millennials and Gen Z want cities that offer opportunity, creativity, sustainability, and belonging. If Vancouver can expand housing options, strengthen public transit, support cultural life, and address the cost of living crisis, it can remain a place where young people do more than survive. They can thrive. In doing so, Vancouver would preserve the very qualities that make it one of the world's most admired cities, while ensuring its future belongs to the generations who will shape it.